Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I am Melinda Pierce and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this kind of fun fold. It's actually called the tea bag folding, and you just use regular designer series paper to create the folds necessary to make that little star. So the basic fold that I'm showing today is one that's used on a lot of different tea bag folding. So once you learn the basics, it's really easy to incorporate that into different designs. So I'm going to show you how to do that today to create this star. I plan to do a couple other videos that use the same fold. So once you get this fold down again, it'll be really easy to make the other ones. So I'm just noticing now that my eyes are really red. The wind is blowing crazy today, so my allergies are acting up, I think. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that nothing to worry about, just normal California weather here. So I am going to point you down on my work surface so you can see what I am going to be putting together. Okay, so the designer series paper that I'm using today for the background is this one here, and very pretty kind of marbly type of effect. And it's actually from the same set as the paper that I used on this one. So this one, I actually put it through an embossing folder. I think that's the Old World embossing folder. I don't know if you can pick up the texture that's on there. There we go. You can see a little bit some of the texture that's on there. It's kind of a fun way to add just another dimension to your card. So the paper that I'm using is actually the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. It has some gorgeous paper that has shells on it, but it also has a beautiful paper that has kind of marbly looking paper on the opposite side. So lots of uses for this paper, not just using it with the seashells, although those are gorgeous as well. Okay, so I wanted to let you know that can be found in the mini catalog from Stampin' Up. It does expire in June. If you are interested in getting that paper, though, I would suggest getting it sooner than later, just because once it sells out, Stampin' Up! May not be bringing it back, even if it's before the end of June. Okay, so this is the star that we're going to be doing. So the 1 inch, using 1 inch squares, creates this star here, which fits on the front of a card. This outer star is made with 2 inch squares, and I'm going to show you how to do it how to make this design with a 2 inch square first, just because it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. If you do want to make these images, this design in using 1 inch squares, it's kind of fun to be able to attach them from point to point and make a banner. And then you could actually use die cuts to spell out like happy birthday or whatever, whatever you might be celebrating. They also make really nice stars to put on a tree or on top of a package. So lots of fun uses for the fold that I'm going to be showing you. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to show you how to do the design with a 2 inch square first. So this is a 2 inch square. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fold it in half so it looks like a triangle. Okay, so you're just going to fold it from point to point on the angle to create a triangle. So that's your first fold. Then you're going to open it up and fold this side, this corner down to meet the center, which is where your first fold was. So again, this is your first fold. This is your second fold. Okay, and then this is your third fold. So everything is just meeting up on this diagonal line. That was your first original fold. So you should have something that kind of looks like a kite. So this by itself would be cute just on the back of on a card, with like maybe having a streamer coming down. You could even draw in the streamer to make a little card with a kite on it. That'd be super cute. So, but to make our star design, what you're going to do is do the same fold on 8 pieces of 2x2 paper. And then once you have those done, this line here I drew in just to show you where that original fold was. So again, this is the back side of your little kite, and this is the front side. Then you're going to take your next kite, and with your kite facing towards you, So basically it's upside down. You're going to take the next piece that is also upside down and match this edge here, to that center fold, like so. Okay? And then the next one, you would do the same thing. You would just attach it right here. So the main thing to remember on this one is that your kites are upside down, with the points of the bottom of your kite is facing out. Okay? So once you get to that point, you're just going to go ahead and attach all 7 of your kite pieces. All of them are one on top of the other. So you only have one piece of your kite showing on this angle here, and then the next one is attached here. So you're doing opposite sides. So in this sample, I used 2 different colors. You're certainly welcome to do that. But I basically did it just so that you could see the differences between the 2 different colors. On the last piece, you're just going to take your kite, your last piece of the kite, put it to the prior kite that you had put on, and then it's going to go underneath your first kite. So this would have been my first kite, this would have been my second to the last, and then this is my last piece. So it's going to go over and under. So you still have only half of the kites showing, even with your last piece. And you're just going to adhere those together. I would suggest using Tombow glue for that. That's the green bottle glue, multi-purpose glue. And I would also suggest using a silicone mat on your workspace. That way your glue is not going to mess up your work surface. The Tombow glue is going to just adhere to the silicone mat, and you'll just be able to wipe it off and it won't get in the way of what you're producing. Okay, so this last piece would just be adhered on just like so. So this piece is going to go on top of this one and underneath this one. So you can put glue on the top of the second to the last and on the top of the last kite, like so. Okay, so there is my completed 2-inch square star. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to finish up my 1-inch star. So you can see how much smaller this one is. And so this is the back side. You can see my pieces that are crossing over there. So again, I'm going to turn it right side up and go ahead and adhere this piece. So you can see it's much harder to see it when I'm using the 1-inch pieces. So this is going to go on just like so. So again, this one is on top of this one is on top of that. And I have one more kite to put on. And you'll see that these 2 are butt up next to each other. So you can tell that something is missing right there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Take my kite, stick it right inside there. Okay, so now it's not attached to this one yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick a little bit of glue in there. Okay, so that is my finished design. So you can see they're all of the pieces are going over and under the one next to it on either side. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my card together. So I have a melon mambo base. And I'm not sure what yellow this is. Just going to center that. And I forgot to put my ribbon around, but it's not too late. So I'm going to cut my my ribbon in half and attach it on the back just with some tape. So normally I would have attached this to my mat first and then wrap this around like I did on this one. But it's not too late. I can still attach it to my designer series paper. I'm just using regular tape to adhere this to the back. This way, if I want to make my ribbon a little tighter after I tie my knot, I can always just adjust that tape. Sometimes when I tie my knots, the ribbon ends up still being too loose. So this way it's easy to just adjust it to the tightness that you want. I'm just going to tie a little knot here. My ribbon cooperates. This is using one of our old seam binding tape, I believe, or seam binding ribbon. It's a really soft ribbon. If it ever comes back again, make sure you pick some up. I'm not sure if we sell it in a different color now, but it's a really soft ribbon to work with. Okay, so there's my knot, and just going to adjust it, make sure it's straight on my card. It looks good. So if this ribbon was too loose, I would just adjust it from the back and just pull these pieces a little bit tighter. Okay, just going to put some glue on my DSP, adhere that. And then my star already has quite a bit of bulk to it because of all the folded paper. So I'm just going to glue that, I think, right on top instead of using dimensionals. And the paper that I used for the star is the 6x6 pack of designer series paper in our regular color lines. So we sell it in the neutrals and the brights and regals, all the different sets. This is really nice paper. It gives you a lot of different options. These are also out of that same designer series paper pack. So if you like that wood grain type of look, I would pick those up before the end of the calendar year, which is in May, because they will not be carried over after that. They're going to be a different design. So we'll still have the paper packs, but they will be different designs on those papers. And I don't know if there's like a wood grain type of design, but I really like the wood grain. It's just kind of a neutral type of design on your paper. Okay, I put my string a little bit higher on this one than the other one, so this time I'm going to put my greeting down on the bottom. Let's see, I need something for in the center of my star. So I'm going to use the opal rounds. These are in the mini catalog, and they have just kind of like an opal type of iridescent look to them. So they're kind of fun. They don't have a whole lot of color to them, but they are nice and shimmery, so it's a nice little addition to your card. And with them being not really dedicated to a certain color, you could use them on all kinds of different cards. Okay, so there's just that little embellishment on the center of my star. And then I'm going to use a couple of these 2020 to 2022 in color enamel dots. So this isn't exactly the same pink as Melon Mambo, but it's very close. So I'm just going to go ahead and use those right there. And I'm using the Take a Pick tool to pick up my embellishments in order to apply them to my card. I find it's a lot easier to pick those up with the tool rather than my fingernails. Usually the embellishments get tucked in underneath my fingernails or something, and it never comes out quite right. So the Take a Pick tool is great for that, among other things. Okay, so that is the completed cards. Super simple and easy once you do learn how to do that fold. And I did show how to do this card in last week's Zoom sessions, and I will be doing another one this week using the same fold, but you need more of the kites than this one. So if you're interested in that, hop over to my card making Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/Melinda's Rubber Room. Information is right here. If you're interested in placing any of the products that you've seen, you can shop my online store at melindapierce.stampinup.net. I hope you will join me over there and place your purchases. If you do want to be inspired on other projects, please do go over to my Facebook page. Give my page a like, so you'll see future updates. All right, thanks again for joining me in Melinda's Rubber Room on YouTube. I hope I inspired you to get creative and craft a little today. That is always my intention. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd be happy to address any questions you might have. Please send me a message if you'd like to chat. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.